Our goal was simple, get to Scandinavia. But the route to get there, well, that was a little more complicated. From our starting point in the Netherlands, there were two main route options. The first was to go through the Kiel Canal, which cuts through Germany and emerges right at the southeastern part of Denmark. This is definitely the most popular route, and certainly the safest and easiest, since it's all relatively protected water. But it also means that would arrive in southern Denmark during high season, and would herd countless stories of completely crowded anchorages and harbors. So the other option was to cross the North Sea and arrive either to Norway or northern Denmark. But the North Sea needs to be taken seriously. It's infamous for being a violent ocean, capable of extreme storms that whip up in an instant. It's littered with military zones, shipping lanes, windmill farms, and shipwrecks. If we wanted to take this route, we'd have to plan our weather window very carefully. I'm Maya, and this is Aladino. In the summer of 2022, we sailed north in our 28-foot home with our sights set on Scandinavia. We dreamed of rugged coastlines, intense sailing, and otherworldly anchorages. Join us as we document every chapter of this Scandinavian summer. Morning, leaving Mackham, ready to head through the dike towards the Waddenzee. Sunny, calm. There seems to be a good 3-day window to make the North Sea crossing, so we're going to go for it. Crossing the Waddenzee this afternoon should get out behind the islands by evening. We might have just said goodbye to the IJsselmeer for the final time. Hello to the Waddenzee, to the North Sea, and, eventually, the Baltic Sea. Crossing the North Sea to Denmark would take about 50 hours, and our weather window seemed to show calm conditions for the next 3 days. Possibly even too calm for good sailing, but given the North Sea's reputation, would rather that than too rough. So once again we pointed north. As we headed away from the Netherlands, we were treated to a parade of beautiful old ships. What a fitting farewell.
It has been quite a journey to get out here, and the part that I was most nervous about, which is called the North Sea, is the least of the problem. Out here it's finally sunny. I can take some layers off. There's a gradual swell. It's not choppy. I thought it would be super short waves. It is approaching evening. We're having dinner. But yeah, it's been a good decision to come out here because it's a long journey through the Waddenzee. Yeah, here we go.
We had been motoring upwind all day in the Waddenzee, but now we could finally put the sails up. It was peaceful and quiet, the sun golden, the sea a greenish blue. As evening approached, we drew nearer to a large shipping lane. Would have to cross it, but needed to wait for a clear moment. The North Sea is crisscrossed with shipping highways, marked clearly on the charts. It's relatively easy for a small boat to steer clear of them, but when the time comes to cross, you do have to time it right. These large ships move deceptively fast. Dark fell. The moon rose, lighthouses flashed from the shore. We crossed the shipping lane. You can see the lights from this ship illuminated against the darkened sky.
At 100 windmills.
Good morning! So let me give you a review of last night, because we didn't film anything. I was actually quite seasick. The North Sea turned out to be pretty agitated. Just after leaving Fleeland, there's a sandbank. And there's a channel over that sandbank that you have to follow. But because it's so much shallower, the waves get really agitated. And yeah, I got seasick from that, and then it didn't really go away until really this morning. I'm feeling better. The night was pretty uneventful. As you can see, the wind is died down, which is unfortunate. We're passing this giant field of windmills, and the North Sea has a lot of these windmill farms out just, I mean, not in the middle of it. We're not in the middle of it, but it still feels very offshore. And then there's just all these windmills, which is kind of odd. I've forgotten how difficult a watch-keeping schedule is actually for the first night when you're adjusting to it. When you're used to sleeping nice long nights and then suddenly your sleep is very broken up. So we're both a bit discombobulated, perhaps a bit worse for wear. But the sun is back up now, so hopefully things will turn around.
Yeah, you can just take some B-roll of my face to see how fresh we are. Yeah, the North Sea. I'm surprised to see that it's still pretty shallow. We have 35 meters here and we are beyond the shipping channel. We are in some deep areas, one would call them. But I suppose that's what makes it possible, or easier at least, to plant all these windmills, because it's not actually that deep. But I still wonder what kind of anchoring system they have. I mean, do they just have like a giant screw that they turn into the mud? I have no idea. Because they are so tall and there's so many forces on them. Anyway, they are a bit of an annoyance as well, because we cannot keep our course. We have to weave around those giant fields, and there is a boat that does circles to check for no intruders, I suppose. Autopilot is broken, and the wind vane has a hard time picking up with this little wind, so it's been a little hard on us. We are so excited for our bigger and heavier boat. This one makes us feel one with the ocean a little bit too much. It is not good to feel that in your stomach.
It's true. Although we love our little Magic Carpet 1, her intended purpose is coastal cruising, not ocean passages. That's not to say she isn't capable, just that she's not purpose-built for it. Watch how quickly the horizon rises and drops behind Aladino here, even in these relatively calm conditions. That fast and erratic motion can be rough on a crew. In fact, this speed of motion was one of the biggest considerations when purchasing Magic Carpet 2. For example, a boat that frequently rolls from one side to another in a span of 3 seconds will quickly tire out its crew with the violent and fast motions. But a heavier boat that rolls from one side to another in a span of 10 seconds will be much more comfortable to sail on. This speed of movement is all characterized by a number called the comfort ratio, with a higher number being more comfortable to sail in rougher conditions. Magic Carpet 1 is a Vinda 32, with a comfort ratio of 29.21. Magic Carpet 2 is a Cape George 36, designed for offshore cruising, with a stunningly high comfort ratio of 47.83. That little number right there is going to make a huge difference to our lives on board. But I should be clear, that doesn't mean the Cape George is better than the Vinda, it's just intended for a different purpose. Just like a 4x4 pickup truck isn't better or worse than a convertible sports car, they're just intended for a different purpose. But right now, let me tell you, slightly sleep deprived and being tossed around far too much given the conditions, we were both really looking forward to our heavier Cape George.
One nice thing about the windmills, though, is they give a point of reference. When you're hand steering for so long, it's very, very tedious to watch a compass or the GPS track or anything of that sort. So I like to just look at something and know that's where I'm pointing. It's much nicer to have it in line of sight. I even do it with the moon or with just boats and traffic that is far away. That is one pleasant aspect of it, I guess.
As night fell, a ship passed by close to us. Another windmill farm blinked eerily to our starboard. The wind was still light, we were hand steering. The sea felt industrial and inhospitable. Even though we were completely safe and on course, it still didn't feel like a beautiful passage. The red lights of the windmills blinked in unison. The boat lurched along in the chop.
Pretty excited. I can feel that warm shower already. And no, I'm not peeing my pants. I'm just looking forward to a shower. Shall be good. Yeah, getting tired, but it's exhilarating right now. I like it. We're keeping up very good pace. We're maybe averaging like 6.5 knots. I'll look at that later, but I really have to focus because we're dead downwind. It's nice to surf the waves, but you have to watch the jibes. But even if it's no big deal, we got a preventer on, does the job.
We were almost there.
Imagine you're just living your regular life at home, doing what it is you do, and all of a sudden, at a moment's notice, you have to switch your schedule so that you are awake for 2 hours and then you can sleep for 2 hours. And then you're awake for 2 hours, you can sleep for 2 hours. Not only I think is that difficult enough, but then during, well, all of that, you are being shaken violently. It takes a moment to get used to, and you do acclimatize, and now I'm feeling a lot better. Things have also calmed down a lot. But it takes some acclimatization. We made it! Woohoo! We're here!
We were entering the town of Thyborøn, situated at the entrance to the Limfjord Canal, which would soon take us all the way through Denmark.
As we are following Lynn and Larry Party's footsteps. Well, we didn't set off from the UK, but one book that they wrote, they also come into Thyborøn. I don't know how to pronounce it yet.
The relief of arriving in a calm port after a tiring passage in a brand new country with brand new possibilities and adventures to be found. Completely exhausted, in bad need of a hot shower and some good food, but totally satisfied.
I already like it here.
That night, we slept for a long time at a calm dock. Good morning! I'm awake. Feeling significantly more like an actual human being this morning. Rested, washed, feeling good. Aladino's still asleep, but I'm going to go explore a little bit of the town that we landed in because we did not make it past the wharf last night. But let's go see what Thyborøn is all about. Aladino.
Oh my god, I slept so good.
Me too.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was great. It's rather calm here. No waves, not much movement.
Thank you so much for watching. I'm so excited to continue to share this series of Scandinavian sailing with you as we explore Denmark and later on Sweden. It has been a really incredible season. So thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave us a comment letting us know what you thought. We read them all. Click the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, all that stuff. You guys know it by now. An extra big thanks to our patrons who make these videos possible. If you would like to become a patron, you can do so for as little as $2 a month. It's very flexible what you donate. And in exchange, we do behind-the-scene bonuses on Patreon every Tuesday or Wednesday, depending what's happening. But every week, there's a real-time update, which is only ever published on Patreon. So those are exclusive. Often when we're sailing, those are articles with accompanying photos. During refit periods, we often do little sort of walkthrough vlogs where we explain what we've been doing. And again, those are only ever published on Patreon. So huge thank you for helping to keep this channel corporate sponsorship free, which is great. We really love that. And an extra big thanks to these folks who always go the extra mile to make sure that Magic Carpet keeps being produced. We will see you all, as always, next Friday.